I just don't understand what the end game is. I'm seeing someone who accepted zero culpability on the roster. In fact, doubled down and explained that, no, the roster wasn't the problem. It was the manager. And when things go awry, that's just how it goes. What does that even mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's just how it goes?
You want to get into some of the
Like when I hear John Lynch and when I hear Bob Myers, like, and then Dunleavy, we'll see. Like, right? Like, we'll see with Dunleavy. But when John Lynch made a mistake, right? And he swung and missed, and he's made a lot of them. Reuben Foster and Solomon Thomas. I mean, we could talk about mistakes that the Niners have made till we're blue in the face. They've been wildly successful, okay? When they missed on Trey Lance, it looked like a member of John Lynch's family died. Mm-hmm. Did he not look like an emotional wreck?
He did. And I gave Shanahan credit and Lynch because they had to face it. And I thought, and look, a lot of people, they could disagree with me. And I know a lot of people went the other way because Shanahan didn't come out right away and talk to people because he did a radio interview. But I thought that Friday after the last preseason game, I thought Shanahan showed that he was vulnerable. He showed a human element. And it showed... He showed that, hey, look, man, I failed the kid. Mm-hmm. I failed him. We failed him. But it's great that he gets a new start. But we failed him. He took responsibility, and we moved. That's all I want.
With the backdrop of going to the NFC Championship game like 3 times.
Right.
Like this isn't a team that, like, it'd be one thing if they were where the Bears were. You know what I mean? But and then they also whiffed on Trey Lance.
Right.
They've been wildly successful on the field.
Wildly successful.
And yeah, they whiffed on a pick. This guy has not been wildly successful.
The Warriors, look at them. Number 2 overall pick, James Wiseman.
It was a whiff.
They whiffed.
It was a whiff.
They whiffed. Jordan Poole, they've moved off of. But they pivoted, and they continue to stay in the championship sweepstakes. They still finished in the final 8 last year. So they get a pass, and they've hung banners.
But Vontae, when I hear Bob Myers, for example, I'm using one example. The Draymond Green, Jordan Poole thing, it went down, okay? Bob Myers, again, looked like someone, he looked so wrecked emotionally, knowing that he was going to get a barrage of media coming for his carcass. Mm-hmm. When the Niner media was out there, they were coming for John Lynch.
Yep.
They were coming for Kyle, right? When Bob Myers was there, he knew Warrior Media is coming for me.
Right.
And there's a humility that I receive as a fan where I'm like, this guy really cares, and he really deeply is worried and troubled by what you, the fan, thinks. I saw a guy yesterday who could give 2 rips what Joe Fan, myself over here, or you, or your dad, or your kid, or your mom, or whoever who's emotionally invested in this team. There is a connection spiritually we have with sports.
Well, he basically said if we win, the fans will come, and that's that.
Yeah, I disagree.
I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say that verbatim.
You know what? People say that.
You know?
And let me ask you
He didn't say that verbatim, but, you know.
Yeah, but people say that. I think we waited in 2021 until the actual playoffs came for us to show up.
September.
You know why? Because we didn't really believe in you.
We didn't.
And we didn't really connect with you. Well, even though you had our guy, Buster Posey, out there. I mean, everybody says, well, you came in 2021. Look at the attendance. No, we didn't. Not till the very end.
If attendance is an important barometer, let's just start right there.
Yeah.
Is attendance an important data point for them?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think you look at, the number of confounds that we're dealing with as an organization, a lot of what's happened over the last 10 or 20 years, but kind of people vote with their feet, right? And as a baseball group, I think it's our responsibility to put a compelling product on the field. And we've talked a lot about how, if you win, that usually drives attendance. And I still think that's true. So, from where we were in August, if we had played better, if we, had a chance to clinch the playoffs during this last homestand, would the attendance, would the energy have been different in the ballpark? I think almost certainly. So, I continue to think that's our primary responsibility, just win games, because that's what fans want. That's what's going to attract fans to the team.
See, again, this is a man who's telling us what we want and not understanding the market.
Right.
Okay, this is a fan base that started off with Willie Mays and Willie McCovey.
We want stars.
This is a fan base that had Jack the Ripper.
We want stars.
This is a fan base that had Will Clark and Kevin Mitchell.
We want stars.
Bonds and Kent go
stars.
right. Will Clark
All
go
stars.
right down the list until you get to the current crop.
Great
of
characters.
The Posies, the Pandas, we want our guys. We don't want interchangeable folding chairs out there playing left field based on the data.
Nope. It's a star market. You need stars.
I have it on very good authority, and I told you, some of the things that I've heard over the last couple of days from players, from people connected to the team, from internal sources. The players themselves have rejected this format.
They have. Big time.
They've
rejected it for a long time.
And the ownership of that, or the front office that's in place, has rejected the recent history and wiped away inside the clubhouse all of the goodwill, all of the championship memorabilia, all of the stuff that this organization has accomplished, acting like it never happened. And to me, you don't understand your fans. All we care about is the history of the team.
We want the history. That's what we
want to be wrapped in it.
That's what we hold on to no matter what.
Absolutely.
It's the history. We still talk about the Niners winning 5 Super Bowls. We still talk about the rivalry. When we talk Cowboys and Niners, we still talk about 92, 93, 94.
Exactly.
We still talk about the 70s. We still talk about the catch that spurred a dynasty for the 49ers.
Yes.
The Warriors. We talk about our long-lost history where we didn't make the playoffs for a long, long time. Wow, Jason Cappy, Bobby Sura, Vonteego Cummings, those are household names because we stuck for so long. You know what I'm saying? And the Giants, this group, and Farhan Zaidi, he just doesn't seem to understand this market.
Nope.
And he still doesn't. Now, he said his main focus in free agency is getting some big boys here. Here's what he had to say.
The main focus for us as we go into free agency is being able to sell our situation, our baseball situation, as much as anything. I mean, top free agents want to be in environments where they think the team's going to be successful. They're a big part of that, but they also want to feel like whether it's the current roster, whether it's the farm system, there's going to be help, especially when you're talking about guys who have a chance to be here for a long time.
So I finally asked him, and Lubman did a great job down there. He asked some light bulb question. He asked him everything. I mean, Lubman was in his bag. Mark Willard was in his bag.
Yeah, I was really proud of you guys.
There was a couple other people that were in their bag, and I was actually disappointed at some people on the day-to-day. Like, damn, we're like, you write articles for the fans to read. I think some people in the media, and I'm not calling out names or anything like that, but I've been in the Bay Area media landscape for damn near a decade now. Been there. I've seen the room. I know all these people. And sometimes I feel like there's certain people in the media who think that they can write their articles and it's not for the fans, and they look down at the fans. Well, the fans are devouring every single article, every single nugget. They want to read about their team. When they're feeling good, they want to buy that newspaper and show it up.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so you're writing for the fans. You're the messenger to the fans.
That's what we hope this show is.
That's exactly.
It's my column.
Yeah, I want to represent the fans.
I agree.
What the fans want
I agree with
is
you.
I want to try to represent that,
Yep.
especially with the Warriors and everything like that. I get it, and it's cool. I've never lost perspective that, look, man, I get to cover a kid's game. You know what I'm saying?
This is the team we love.
The fan in me has never left, despite me going to journalism school, despite me being objective. I can do all that stuff. But I also understand, man, I'm doing a show for the fans. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully the boss man likes it. But the fans, that's who listen. When we're on television, and they're asking about Andrew Wiggins or whatnot, to me, they get it right to know what's going on.
Yeah.
They're spending the money on it. They're wearing the gear. They're spending merchandise. They're glued to the TV, giving us ratings or whatnot. And so I feel like some media members, and I feel like Farhan acts like, the fans are just an afterthought. Well, you know what? The fans have spoken. I think he dropped below 17th in attendance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
In San Francisco, this team was in the top 5 for damn near the entirety of Oracle Park.
I know.
And since this regime has come in, the fans stopped coming.
Why do you, we could talk for all the different variables, but like the number one thing, what do you think the number one reason is why fans don't go?
Well, the lack of communication with this organization to the fan base, the lack of touch, the style of play.
Yeah.
And when you say, basically, we're smarter than you, just trust the process. The light bulb comment did not age well from Larry Bear.
No.
That was not something you say.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think other organizations in this market have taken note, like, I don't think they're running a. Boy, if I had to, there are certain people like, boy, if I could work with the Giants, we do X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. Now,
I think they're one of the most appreciated big brands in sports right now.
Yeah, no doubt. But now, I asked him about the comments about what he said in the winter meetings, and he clapped back at me, and I said, these are your quotes. I'm not paraphrasing anything. I'm breaking it up because I could be here all day reading your quote. I don't want to bore everybody. We got to keep it moving here. But here's what he said, addressing his comments about players playing in San Francisco.
As far as the geography, I'd say the same thing I said with the manager. This is, a great storied organization. This is, in my opinion, the best ballpark in Major League Baseball. I think everybody loves playing here. When I talked about, the idiosyncratic nature of it, some of it is as simple as, how cold it is when we play our games. There are players that don't like playing in colder, in colder evenings. There are players who are born and raised on the East Coast, and that's their strong preference to sign with an East Coast team. There are players.
I'm gonna shut it down because Shasky wants to hear
No. So that's the back end of it. So I'm watching on the NBC Bay Area posted on their YouTube the entire interview.
Yeah.
And I'm just, watching it, and all of a sudden Loveman asked a question, and I could see Farhan was not happy with Loveman. And then Bonte asked a question. You have to hear the exchange on the front end. We didn't cut the sound properly on the front end, and I apologize for that.
Right.
So here's the full exchange. Spadoni, can you play it right here?
She said that you didn't research, or your team did research on free agents, and we found that players aren't really that happy coming into town for a 3-game series. You later added that you think this city maybe is a little bit of a polarizing place among players in terms of the desire to play here. How do you navigate through that through another offseason? How do you sell players on the city when you're quoted by saying that about this city?
I mean, can you say exactly what I said? I mean, you're paraphrasing. I don't think that's accurate at all.
No, I know you don't. You also said, I don't know if we would say San Francisco is an idiosyncratic market, but I do think maybe it is more that way than it was 20 years ago. So it gave the impression to a lot of fans that maybe the city is not helping attract players here as well as the brand and the baseball you're playing.
Yeah.
Okay, that entire exchange right there is a microcosm of this guy thinking he could pull the wool over our eyes, and we're not going to call him out for his BS.
Well, he didn't get called out for it, which is unfortunate. If I'm on the beat,
I was proud of you. I was really proud of you. And I know I mean this because I care. You know why? Why? I care. I watch this team. I watch this team every inning of every game. You know how many guys I talk? I'm ready to cry on this team. I love baseball. I love baseball. And I watch this team like you do every night, and it's sad what they've become. They've devolved into a team that I don't care about, and all I ever cared about was this team. I want to see them. They've brought me some of my favorite memories, okay? And they've tapped into my heartstrings. And there are guys, I want to pass this on to my family. My brother's raising 3 boys right now. I bring them soft little toss baseballs because I play baseball in the yard with them. I want my brother and my dad and my grandfather and me and all the kids I'm coaching to love the Giants the way I love the Giants. And this guy doesn't get it. And then he goes and rips the city that I'm from. Look, it's one thing. And The Last Black Man in San Francisco, the movie, said it beautifully. When the 2 tech people are talking on the bus and they're saying, I hate San Francisco. I hate San Francisco. And he goes, excuse me, ma'am, are you from San Francisco? And he says, no, I'm not. He goes, you can't say you hate San Francisco if you ain't never loved it. And when someone who's not from here rips our community, I'm so proud of you for standing up for us because this is my team that has represented my community well. And now they don't. And to hear this guy say what our community isn't, there's a lot of things that aren't going great right now. But for him to cowardly back away from the statements he said, using excuses of why he couldn't sign people, that hurt me. As a citizen of this city, as a community member of San Francisco, and as someone who loves the Giants and loves the Bay Area. So no, I know you don't want to give yourself credit. I'm giving you credit because goddamn it, B, I never was more hurt than hearing one of the people who's supposed to represent my team that represents my area talk down upon our community. That hurt me.
No, it's hurtful. And I want to get into the other side of it on why I asked the question.
It hurt me.
And
I know others did too. I'm sorry.
No, you're all good because that question was asked, or he said that during the last winter meetings. And I can't recall anybody following up